It's been a year, but gnawing questions still linger. How did David Shannon die? We have that update. Andy Griffith made it big in Tinsel Town. Some other Tar Heels have this same dream, and we've got the story. It's all about the 3 F's, fun, family, and the food. We take you live to the State Fair. All that, plus we fill you in on some of what you missed during fall break. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
We have a lot of news for you tonight, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, we want to take you live to the State Fair, where my co-anchor Natalia Perez-Signini is there. Natalia, how is the fair?
That's right, Landon. I'm here in Raleigh, and it is so much fun. I know that you can't feel the energy, but it is a lot of energy here. There are tons of people behind me. The fair's last day is this Sunday, the 27th. But if you can't make it by then, don't worry. I got you covered. I'm going to be here all day. We got some excellent footage coming up. Back to you for now, Landon.
Thanks, Natalia. The State Fair is over Sunday, and on Sunday, it'll be a year. A year since UNC freshman David Shannon fell to his death. Authorities continue to think he wasn't alone when he died, and they think there are people on this campus who know what happened. Though gnawing questions linger, one thing is certain: Shannon was drunk. Research in alcohol consumption suggested his drinking 11 drinks like these in an hour that would cause a blood alcohol concentration of 0.22, the same BAC David Shannon had. The body can only burn one of those 11 drinks in an hour. Shannon's autopsy results showed his cause of death was a blunt force trauma to the head, neck, and torso, apparently due to falling off a piece of machinery at Ready Mix concrete plant. The report also states the cause of death was acute ethanol intoxication, also known as alcohol poisoning. Trooper Michael Blake of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol and Department of Public Safety questioned the circumstance of events that would lead up to a level of 0.22.
Were you taking care of yourself at that time? Probably not. There's probably not eating, you're just drinking. Probably not sleeping because you're drinking. Probably not doing other things because apparently you would be drinking.
Shannon was last seen drinking at a pregame house party on Macaulay Street. He was supposed to attend a sorority function at La Residence Restaurant and Bar after the pregame, but never showed. Instead, he ended up here, in Carborough. So why did Shannon come to this concrete plant? More importantly, how did he get here? No car was found at the scene, which means he either walked or was driven. 0.22 BAC can cause loss of consciousness, loss of understanding, blackout, and requires help to stand and walk. Just 6 drinks more, and Shannon might have died solely from alcohol at 0.35. To get from this house here on Macaulay Street, where Shannon was last seen at a pregame, he would have had to walk nearly a mile to the concrete plant at Carborough. That's roughly a 17-minute walk. So even if Shannon didn't need help to walk here, climbing that tower while intoxicated is a completely different challenge. As you can see, it would have taken climbing up this ladder, shimmying up this beam, and climbing again. Even if the trek and climbing the tower was possible, why do it? Captain Chris Atack of the Carborough Police is pleading for help getting these answers.
There are people right now at UNC that have that information, that know for sure what happened, and that would clear it up, but they're just not coming forward.
Alcohol-related deaths like that of David Shannon can be avoided. Deaths associated with drunken driving, for one. For example, students have been using taxis to and from Franklin Street or catching the P2P at late night. But that can be a hassle. Kiara Palmer reports on the newest late-night door-to-door service that's creating, well, a buzz around campus.
It started with a trip.
Well, this summer we traveled to India where we rode around in these open-air taxis called tuk-tuk.
That influenced an idea.
So we wanted to provide an alternative for students that was green, sustainable, but can also get kids home safe.
And that idea flourished into a new buzzing alternative for students.
All right. Alrighty, well, I'll be at SAE in a little bit, and I'll come pick you guys up.
In one of its 4 electric go-karts, Buzz Rides offers door-to-door pickup and drop-off services to students on or off campus, especially in areas that P2P doesn't reach. Founders and business school sophomores Joey Skavernick and Parker Drawn understood the dilemmas of finding late-night rides.
There were so many nights where me and Parker last year, we'd either be waiting for the P2P. Sometimes the P2P wouldn't drop us off at the stop. If it's so packed, it skips stops. Cabs are very expensive in Chapel Hill.
But why the name Buzz Rides? Skavernick and Drawn say it seemed most appropriate when factoring the nightlife of Chapel Hill and Carborough.
When we talked about Buzz Rides is first, a lot of kids, if they're buzzed, they need a ride home.
Servicing more than 230 students a night, Buzz Rides founders believe that this is the best way to ensure safety amongst students.
Safety is a big issue on campus, and we definitely wanted to make sure our peers can have a great time on the weekends and at nights and get to their dorm safely.
And at no cost to riders thanks to local businesses.
Buzzers allow it to be free. They pay enough money that we can stay in operation every month and continue giving free rides.
With a successful start, Skavernick and Drawn are confident that Buzz Rides will continue to grow. Reporting in Chapel Hill, I'm Kiera Palmer.
Let's be honest, weather warnings, we rarely take them seriously, right? But after the death of one UNC student this summer, DPS thinks that we should. Stephanie Lopez has more.
Falling tree right here on Franklin Street claimed the life of UNC student Julia Nunn last June. A string of thunderstorms were to blame. Randy Young is spokesman for the Department of Public Safety. He says Nunn's death led the department to start new Alert Carolina notifications dedicated to weather.
Really the gravity that was felt, that the campus community felt of having one of its own students tragically lost because of or related to inclement weather, I think that helped to motivate us to do that.
The Alert Carolina system came under fire last spring. There were complaints about insufficient and untimely warnings, but Young says DPS is not above listening to critiques, and feedback on the Alert Carolina system helps to shape the program.
Many of the improvements that have been made to the program of Alert Carolina have come because of public outcry or public concern. For example, the addition of the weather scenarios to the number of tiers that we have for information going out.
The Adverse Weather Alert Carolina messages will go out whenever the National Weather Service issues a tornado watch or warning and severe thunderstorm warnings for Orange County.
A severe thunderstorm warning is exactly the kind of warning that the National Weather Service issued in Orange County when Julia Nunn was struck right here on Franklin Street, and it's exactly the kind of warning that DPS wants students to be aware of with their new weather alerts.
The weather alerts may also be sent out when there isn't an immediate threat, but if the information will help people protect themselves and their property. Young says some students might not think much of the weather warnings, but DPS believes it's something that could help to prevent another tragedy on campus. In Chapel Hill, I'm Stephanie Lopez.
DPS is still investigating the phony Alert Carolina message that was emailed to students advertising a new social media site. The email described a fictitious shooting on Franklin Street where the victim was described as a blue, outdated social network. The hoax was meant to advertise bevy.com, but instead it resulted in ITS blocking the website from university servers. Currently, no charges have been filed against the site's founder, Tyler Robinette, but Raymond Padilla, Deputy Chief Information Officer for ITS, said the UNC would seek legal action only if the email was sent from someone unassociated with the university. Well, there's nothing phony about the state fair this week, that's for sure. Let's go back to Natalia Perez, who is live at the fair and is going to tell us about the food this year. And when I'm talking food, I'm assuming we're talking about fried food, right, Natalia?
When you think of the North Carolina State Fair, what comes to mind? Fried food, right? In years past, it was the Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger that was the fair favorite. But this year, it's the Sloppy Joe Krispy Kreme. Now, what we have here is a mound of Sloppy Joe sprinkled with some cheese, wedged in between two Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. Sound appetizing? I'm about to find out. I must say, with my mouth full, it's not what I anticipated, but it sure is delicious. Want to see what else is on the menu? Feast your eyes on this. From fried Oreos to fried Twinkies, fried Snickers too. There's also the classic funnel cake. But if you're more into traditional foods, try a hot dog or a giant turkey leg. But if it's that fried food fix you're craving, then the State Fair has your name on it.
It's very sweet, kind of crunchy. It's very delicious, nice compliment to the fair atmosphere.
Anything with cheese I really get, so I got fried macaroni and cheese too.
Oh, I love fried dough. And the steak and cheese, it melts in your mouth.
So if you're hungry, Landon, because there's a lot of this out here, let me tell you, it was delicious, delicious. If you're still hungry, the fair's open until 11 today, so come out and get your fix. Back to you.
Thanks, Natalia. I know where I'm coming for dinner. Hope you all had a good fall break. I know I did. And with the anticipation of fall break, you might have missed some things, like the installation of UNC's newest chancellor. Hundreds of people gathered in Polk Place to watch Carol Folt take her oath as the 11th chancellor of the university. Governor Pat McCrory, Chair of Faculty Jan Boxall, and Student Body President Christy Lambden all praised Folt for her accomplishments in her first 100 days. In her address, the chancellor outlined her vision for the university's future, and she said she hopes to accomplish even more in the years to come. We'll take you back to the fair in just a few minutes, but first, how do we feed our faith through fasting, especially when there's all this food around? We have the story coming up.
Be sure to check out Carolina Week online at carolinaweek.org. Connect with us online by liking the Carolina Week Facebook page and following us on Twitter at Carolina Week UNC.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
That Peeping Tom incident on campus remains in the news tonight. DPS says it's still investigating, but no arrest yet. The peeping incident reportedly occurred in the showers of Connor Residence Hall. The suspect is described as an Asian male, approximately 5'8". When last seen, he was wearing a Duke hoodie. Really? You remember that first year at Carolina, right? Being a freshman can be challenging in so many ways. Well, university officials say they understand all of that and they're going to make some changes. Vanessa Martinez reports.
Lauren Dixon is a first-year majoring in studio art. She lives on South Campus in Hinton James, and there are more first-years like her living in South Campus than ever before. She says she likes being around students who are in her class.
I think it's kind of nice. I have a couple of friends that live up on North Campus, and it just seems more isolated up there.
There are 3,200 first-years on campus, and 90% live in South Campus. Events that have been held so far in South Campus were aimed for first-years. Director of Housing Larry Hicks says partnerships with other campus departments are designed to make that first year go a lot smoother.
All the different services that students are encouraged to link up with, we are actually partnering with those partners and bringing them to the students.
The Housing Department has joined forces with 9 other university departments such as Academic Advising, Career Services, and Health and Wellness. Hicks says Housing hopes the new program gets students involved in the Carolina community earlier.
Those partnerships go beyond just coming into the residence halls. They're sponsored programs that actually encourage students to get out of the residence halls and get engaged with campus life.
Dixon says she's glad she has so many resources available to her.
Even though I don't necessarily go to all that's offered, I feel like if I ever wanted to, there's always something there so that I can meet all the people around me.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Vanessa Martinez.
So when you get hungry, you eat, right? Well, not always. For centuries, certain cultures, certain faiths have refrained from eating particular foods or any food at all for religious purposes. Religion and spirituality reporter Ashley Dolan finds out why some practice their faith by fasting.
I'm hungry. You've probably already said that once today. But what if your hunger couldn't be solved with a quick trip to the kitchen? Jason Cooper, co-president of the UNC-Chapel Hillel, a student community that celebrates Jewish life, is all too familiar with this. He recently celebrated Yom Kippur. While most holidays are associated with plenty of food, this Day of Atonement is spent fasting.
Fasting has a a cleansing type of nature about it, which is kind of what Yom Kippur is about.
A cleanse with no food or drink for 25 hours. And it's not just Judaism. Muslims fast during Ramadan. Catholics fast some during Lent. And Mormons typically fast every first Sunday of the month. Different religions with different reasons to fast, ranging from purification to penance. And for co-president of the UNC-Chapel Hill Hillel, Noam Soker, a time to appreciate the luxuries she has.
I've been really lucky to be able to have 3 meals a day, and way too many shoes for my closet.
Giving up food and luxuries helps focus on other things. So instead of just sitting around waiting for dinner to be ready, it gives them time to reflect.
It makes you think all day long. You're just thinking obviously about food, but also about just your life in general.
This means thinking about the past year, sins that have been committed, and how to make things right.
There is a huge emphasis on reflecting on yourself and what you've done and what you'd like to do.
To do better with a clean slate and a full stomach. In Chapel Hill, I'm Ashley Dolan.
There's no fasting at the State Fair this week. It is all about the food and the rides. But Natalia, it's all about the families too, isn't it?
That is right, Landon. It's all about the family here. If you think that the State Fair is just about fried food galore and rides for all ages, you better think again. It is the perfect place to bring your family. We got some footage for you. Here's some footage of families spending quality time together. You can see them hugging, holding hands, laughing, and riding rides together. You can also see them feeding each other that famous State Fair food. Seems like there's something for everyone here. A day packed with family, food, and fun, all in the same place. So if you're free, come on out here, bring your loved one and your family member. They're open until 11. Back to you.
Thanks, Natalia. For UNC students, a life in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood might seem like a distant dream, but Tar Heels have been leaving a mark on the movie industry for years. Reporter Janelle Davis brings us the inside scoop from LA.
We have a tie.
Sick, you smell like after-shaven taco meat.
Yes, I do.
How dare you?
What do these blockbusters have in common? UNC alumni wrote, directed, or edited these films. The hits achieved rapid box office success, but these Tar Heels struggled climbing the ladder.
We had to come out here broke and get beaten up and learn it.
I had no contacts. I had no, idea of how to get started. I just knew that this was the place you had to be.
For decades, batches of Tar Heels came to Hollywood with no network, no guidance, and no insight into the life in the 90210 zip code. Paul Edwards became a screenwriter, while John Altshuler and Dave Korinsky went on to produce the movies Extract, Blades of Glory, and King of the Hill. Today, Edwards directs the UNC Hollywood Internship Program. It's a program in which 20 communications seniors spend the summer interning in LA, attending lectures, and networking.
The program was created quite simply so that every person from Carolina who came out here didn't have to be a pioneer.
Pillar Sig and Shepherd, this is Ashley.
Ashley Cox is a senior in the program and interned at a production company this summer.
For me, I was kind of terrified coming out here. There were a million times where I was like, maybe I should just stay in North Carolina. It's nice and safe in North Carolina. It's good, but you got to put yourself out there.
The program has opened the door to connect students with alumni, including Hughes Winborn and Peyton Reed. Winborn is the Oscar-winning editor of Crash, and Reed is the director of Bring It On, Yes Man, and The Breakup.
They see somebody who, went to UNC and moved out here and actually ended up working in the business, just to show them that it really is a possibility. It's not a crazy dream.
Seeing really is believing for Tar Heels in Tinsel Town. Reporting from Hollywood, I'm Janelle Davis.
Well, I wish we had some of that LA weather at the State Fair. It's been a little iffy, and we'll be right back with Katie McGee's Weather Report.
Don't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. It's slightly cloudy here, and our meteorologist Katie McGee has our full forecast. Katie?
That's right, Natalia. Partly cloudy skies today. We can see that's not going to last too long, though. For the next couple of days, we can see beautiful sunny skies finally returning. But that heat we felt today is definitely not sticking around. We can see temperatures getting down to 59, even the mid-50s on Friday. And we'll tell you why in just a second. However, looking at just the next couple of hours for our fast forecast, 8 p.m. tonight, we can see around 50 degrees, and then by midnight, mid-40s. So if you are heading out tonight, we will have clear skies, and that's going to allow for all of the heat we had today to escape. Make sure you bring your jacket. And then tomorrow morning, oh my goodness, that is a 3 in front of there, 38 degrees. Again, sunny skies, not going to help too much. Still pretty clear and chilly. Looking over right now, we can still see clear skies for all of us, and to our east, you can see that huge cloud mass. That's the cloudy skies we've had these past few days. However, to our west, again, still clear skies in store for us. And that's thanks to this high pressure system. But we can see this first cold front passing over us right now. That's what's bringing us all of these cooler temperatures, especially tomorrow morning and over the next few days. But look at this, 1-2 punch to our west. Again, another cold front's going to blow right through while this whole high pressure system keeps dominating our weather with all of that sinking air, not allowing for clouds to rise, giving us clear sunny skies. These two cold fronts are definitely going to keep things cooler for us, especially tonight, like I said, getting down to only 38 degrees. Clear skies, and as if temperatures in the 30s weren't bad enough, we're going to have gusty winds getting up to possibly 20 miles an hour. So if you are heading out to the fair tonight or planning on going out to study, make sure you bring your jacket. And that's going to hold true tomorrow as well. With all of that cool air coming in, we might have a chance for another patchy morning frost across the area. And we'll only see temperatures getting up to 59. Again, that high pressure system leaving us with mostly clear skies. Now, if you're heading out this Saturday, we have the home football game at 3:30 against the Boston College Eagles. 3:30, you'd figure it'd be a little warmer, but that's just not going to be the case. These cold fronts passing through around noon for the tailgate, 45 degrees, and then 3:30, we're only going to be in the mid-50s. Post-game, 47, clear skies for a majority of it, so a little more seasonable for fall, but definitely not what you want to have when you're outside for a majority of the day. Now looking at the 5-day forecast, again, you can see those sunny skies are sticking around, but the temperatures are definitely going to start dropping off. Look at that Friday night, 29 degrees. That's our first time going below freezing so far this year, so fall's definitely kicking us now, definitely catching up.
Down to the 20s and 30s, it looks like I'm going to have to get a very warm Halloween costume.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are heading out to the fair these next couple of days, you're only really going to need a sweater. Thank goodness no umbrella. The rain's staying away, but goodness is that cold air coming in.
All right, Katie, thanks so much for the update.
Thank you.
It was a scary crowd for our first Zero Dark Thursday. We'll have that story coming up after the break.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Allie Massione. Another game, another loss for the UNC football team. Carolina fell to number 10 Miami, 27-23 in a hard-fought battle Thursday night. The Heels led the Hurricanes until the last 16 seconds. Despite the loss, students and fans blacked out Kenan Stadium for the heavily promoted Zero Dark Thursday.
It may have been a blackout, but on Thursday night, Kenan Stadium was electric.
Yeah, all the hype of the Zero Dark Thursday, our fans were unbelievable. Our students were unbelievable. I mean, the atmosphere was crazy.
Head coach Larry Fedora thanked fans who came out to support the Heels in their biggest conference game yet. Only the second ESPN Thursday night home game in school history, Zero Dark Thursday, kept students in town over fall break. Senior Katie Jernigan said she planned her entire break around the game.
I mean, we've never had a Thursday night game here, my 4 years here, and I was like, there's no way I can miss this. I mean, the last one was 4 years ago, and so as a student, like, you feel like that's something you can't miss.
But sophomore quarterback Marquise Williams said he thought students would miss the big game.
We felt like it wasn't going to be that much people there because it was fall break, but, you know, a lot of fans showed us a lot of love, and that's what we respected. You know, we came out with a lot of enthusiasm, like ready to first ever blackout in the tar pit. Despite their enthusiasm, the Heels fell to Miami in a heartbreaking loss. And as the team looks to this weekend's game against Boston College, they hope the tar pit can rally as much support as last week. If we can get that same thing every time we have a game, you know, it'll be better for us, you know, because we can't do it by ourselves. We need our fans just like everybody else in the country need their fans.
Carolina's record drops to 1-5 overall and 0-3 in the ACC. So much for football season, and thank goodness basketball's right around the corner. Late Night with Roy kicks off Friday at 7 p.m. in the Dean Dome. The players will take the court for the first time in front of an audience this season, as well as the dance floor to show off some of their best moves. They won't be the only ones participating. Last week, 200 students competed in a shooting contest to see who will shoot a half-court shot at Late Night with Roy. Coach Williams has pledged to donate $1,000 to the UNC Lineberger Cancer Center for every shot made on Friday. That cause hits close to home for another UNC coach. Women's basketball head coach Sylvia Hatchell announced last week that she has leukemia and is temporarily stepping down from her coaching position. Despite the news, Hatchell seems to stay in good spirits. The Naismith Hall of Famer has been tweeting updates like this one, quote, "My numbers are good and I'm looking forward to getting back soon. Hashtag getting better, hashtag go Heels," unquote. And this one, quote, "I feel like I can run a marathon," unquote. Associate head coach Andrew Caldwell will fill in while Hatchell undergoes treatment. You know, we're definitely keeping Coach Hatchell in our thoughts.
We certainly will. Thanks so much, Allie.
Thank you.
Back to the State Fair to wrap things up. Stay with us for some of the fair favorites.
So what you want to do is, have you already enrolled? You're doing fine. What does that just do? Select the drop-down menu again. Wait. So you're already enrolled. Example here, so don't panic. You're ready to make your payments. Submit. There it is.
Oh my God!
I really can't believe it. That's awesome. Good for you.
You just can't go to the fair and not ride the rides. Let's go back to Natalia Perez-Signini. Natalia, how many roller coasters have you been on?
That's right, Landon. That's right, Landon. We've talked about family, we've talked about food, but how can we talk about a fair without talking about the rides? Whether you're a toddler with your parents or a teenager with your friend, there's a ride here for you. From kiddie rides that have most of the youngsters jumping with joy, to some big kid rides that have some screaming with excitement. There really is a ride here that's bound to have your name on it. And I talked to a few of the fairgoers to see what they thought about the fair. Check it out.
Tasty, amazing, and perfect.
Crazy, exciting, and delicious.
Awesome, a lot of fried food, so fried stuff, and probably rides.
So you heard it. Delicious is definitely one of the words that describes a state fair in a nutshell, but it has more than that to it. Family, fun, food. If you have the time to get out here, please do. It's open until Sunday, the 27th, until 11 p.m. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Natalia. Looks like y'all are having a lot of fun out there. I'm going to have to come and visit before it ends on the 27th. Thanks so much for being out there today. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.